Welcome back to me and my Maverick. In a previous video, I think it was a couple of videos ago from right now, I talked about winter driving and showed you some issues with moisture and dirt and everything else getting back in the back into the bed on top of the bed cover. So before I got the camera out, I already started cleaning up to prep for doing this today. What I'm going to do is I bought some weather stripping that's made for cars. And got it off Amazon. This roll was like 30 feet long and was 20 bucks or something like that. So I'll sort of talk about it as I'm installing it. But I wanted to show you real quick what I was talking about. So if you look down in the corner here, I've already wiped this out, but you can still see all the dirt that's been kicked up from the road. And that made its way up the side of the bed here and onto the bed mat. If you look in the other corner, which I have not cleaned yet, not quite as dirty, but you can still see that in there, that has made its way up the side of the bed and started to get on the bed cover. Now, the bed mat. So I cleaned the bed mat, I think maybe last weekend or something like that. And just because I was cleaning the truck, I wanted to get that out of there. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to clean this up. And then cut the stripping and get it ready to go, and we'll go through that. That should be a pretty quick installation. Then we got some other things I wanted to just talk about, give some ideas on what I might be doing in the future on the channel, and you know, something I didn't really ever address in the beginning of this is, you know, why am I doing this channel, and talk a little bit about that and the reasoning for that. So let me get you guys set up so you can see what's going on. And we use the isopropyl alcohol to clean. And then we use the weather stripping to put on. I'm just going to cut it with a pair of scissors. These scissors are super sharp. They're not like, you know, cloth scissors or something like that. Actually found those fishing. I fish a lot during the spring and summer, and found those fishing, and my thought when I brought them home, this might be amusing, was, oh, I'll just use those to like trim the bushes and stuff. And then I realized how sharp they were, and I've used them for pretty much everything but that. So anyway, let me get you set up, and we'll get started on this, and then we can talk about some other things while we're doing that. All right, so as we prepare to put the weather stripping on, I have a confession to make. This is the second time I've done this. So the first video, part of it was missing, and I figured out now what the issue was. The second time it's happened, I figured out what the issue was. But let's call it a combination of GoPro and user error. So I've already cut the weather stripping to fit on here. The reason I decided to go on and do this again, even after deleting the video, was there's a lip right here where the bed skin sort of rolls in, and when I did it before, I put it down to that lip. Well, it left a gap, and I'm leaving. I'll pick you guys up and get you closer to this in a minute. I'm leaving the bottom piece of the weather stripping in place. I'm not going to take it off. Not going to take it off and redo it because this is really easy to figure out. But so what I'm going to do now is I cut a notch where this piece will fit right over top of that, and then it'll tape up the side here like this, and I'll put it right up against the spray and bed liner. So I put that notch in there so that when the tailgate shuts, it'll put pressure on that and it'll close it down. Now I will tell you guys, we finally had some snow, we've had some salty roads, and my whole objective with doing this was to stop the intrusion of sort of everything getting kicked up off of the wheels from getting it in on the bed mat, because, you know, as we travel, we plan on putting food in the back, luggage in the back, and a little bit of water is okay, but I don't want a little bit of water and a bunch of dirt. So that was the reason for doing this. If I was just using this truck as a truck, I would not worry about this at all. So what I'm going to do is going to start this piece. I'll put this right up against that lip, and I want to get it as close to, the spray and bed liner as I can. Didn't think I'm quite there. This stuff is really sticky, so it's sort of hard to get it exactly where you want it sometimes. So now, since I've already peeled off the plastic film, I basically can now just bring this all the way up, press it into place just like this. Now, I've never seen the intrusion of the dirt come up really higher than about here, but I'm going to go on and seal this up. We've got that. Yeah, we still are not down far enough on that lip. So this stuff is sticky enough. I can peel it off because the surface is clean. And let's do this one more time. There we go. So again, I want to try to keep it close to the spray and bed liner. Sort of like that. Okay, so now these are touching. So that should stop any intrusion of water and dirt from getting in to that part. And then the extra piece that I sort of ran up along here, it's a little cleaner now not having that on. I did install a little bit on the corners. The corners are rounded. That was sort of an open gap. When this is shut, this all sort of closes up together. And I did leave, I told you I'd show you this, I did leave a gap here. And you can see, if I get too close enough, you can sort of see where the dirt and the salt have came up. I wanted to leave a gap because if there was any water in the bed, I wanted it to be able to get out, to drain out. And obviously, if I see any dirt getting in here, I can always bring these together. But, you know, after all the salt and snow we've had, salt on the roads and snow we've had, I don't see anything like that happening. So I think we're good. So let's go on and put the last piece on here, and we should be done with this. So I'm going to make sure to get this right down against that piece, just like that. It'll squish these like this, and then it should stop any moisture from getting in on the bed mat. So and I may have to get a new piece because that is not sticky at all for some reason. Let's try it one more time. Not sure why it wouldn't be sticky. I just literally peeled the tape off of these. Yeah, it's not even sticking to the bed. So let me pause and get a new piece to put on here, and we'll make sure that it's nice and sticky. So the beauty of recording is you can stop and then just turn it back on and not have to do a whole lot with it. So got a new piece. This is sticky. I'm not sure why that piece was not sticky. And we'll just run this up and then press it down to seal it. And when the tailgate closes on it, we should have a really good seal right there. And that is still not wanting to stick right there. So, but once we press the tailgate on it, it'll stick once it's held in place. So I did wipe that off, so I'm not quite sure why that's sort of behaving that way. Okay, so let me get some few things out of the way here, because we're going to close the tailgate. And then let you have a look at how that looks with the tailgate closed. So let's go on and close it. And then let's take a look down. You can see how that weather stripping is pressed all up and nice against that. There's a bit of a dip right here where there used to be a bottle opener here. So I had a piece of a different type of weather stripping left over from the bed cover. So put that there. The bottle opener is still on over here. So I had to put it on just slightly different, but it looks like it's sealed up there really nice. So this all looks pretty good. And as I look down at the corner, I'm not seeing any light through that corner. So I think we've got that. I think we got that all covered, and it all looks pretty good. All right, so and that video is a lot shorter than the original one. The original one, I'd cut it and was doing everything else, and was like 20 minutes long. So you guys won't have to be bored through that. So a couple of things I mentioned in the intro, a couple of things I wanted to sort of talk about, and you guys are really crooked here. A couple of things I want to talk about was the reason for doing the channel. Just so you guys know, I, first of all, don't have enough subscribers, but not monetized. Don't know if I ever will. So that was not my interest in doing this. This is just sort of a documentation of owning a Maverick and the different things that I've done to it. I want to talk as I have it longer about the problems I encounter, and maybe there's something in there to help someone else. A couple of things that I haven't talked about yet is sort of some of the features and what I like and don't like about them. So I'll be doing a video about that pretty soon. So I have the Copilot 360. What does that mean? What does it do for you? Is it worth the extra $500 and something that it costs to get that? And I'll do a video on that. Had a couple of other ideas. It'd be nice to have a video about the interior and sort of how things function in the interior. And that might come in handy for people that are thinking about ordering one, that maybe want to know, for example, can you put a baby seat in the back? The short answer to that is yes. But there are some gotchas with that too. So be doing a video about that. And then of course, I've mentioned in a couple of other videos you guys may have seen that we have a trip coming up. That was the reason for wanting to seal the bed up is, we'll be driving to Florida and back, all told about 2,500 miles. And, we're going to have luggage and food and who knows what else in here. Winter coats, won't need those. According to what the weather forecast, won't need those where we're going to be. But, so I'll get those videos up here in the next, be a few weeks before the travel video. But, and the reason for doing all this is just sort of to document and have fun with it. And, I plan on having the truck for a while. It'll be nice to look back, at some point, if I have it 5 years and get another one, or 5 years to get something else, or longer, it'd be nice to document some of those things. And then as other things become available and I want to do more add-ons, I'll document those things as well. So got a few other little things in mind to maybe make the ownership a little nicer. But the major things that I want to do are done. I still owe the video about the bed cover. That's going to take some editing, so that'll be a little while. So so that's it for sealing up the tailgate on the bed. And after we go to Florida, I'll report back on how that worked out. If we get into any rain, you definitely will see some water that'll try to get in, so it'll be interesting to see if this stops it. So one last look at it. This was, I think I mentioned this in the intro, this stripping was about 30 feet long, cost $20. It is a little bit bigger than a 1/2 inch. I didn't think there's weather stripping that's a 1/2 inch or some a little bit smaller. I didn't think that would be quite big enough to compress when you push up against that. So we'll see how all that works. But and then of course the bed cover. Still have to get to that. All right, thanks for watching.